Hi, I'm Barbara Cutrera, and today I would like to talk with you about why I am an indie author. There are many answers to that question. I did a lot of research over the years before I actually started publishing, and what I found was that publishing was basically the industry was in a total state of upheaval and disarray at the time when I first considered going into novel writing. So I wasn't really certain which way to proceed. I looked at traditional publishing, I looked at the small presses, I looked at indie. There were so many conflicting things going on and ideas that people had about each one. So eventually I decided to indie publish in 2013. Unfortunately, I probably should have done that in 2011 because that was the revolutionary year. So many people made it big that year when they went indie. That was really when the ebooks hit and so many people became hugely successful just instantly that year. And I wasn't able to start publishing due to life and circumstance until 2013. So I sort of missed the boat, unfortunately, on that one. But when I started in 2013, I went into it with some knowledge because, as I said, I had been doing research on the industries and the different types of publishing. But I was still a newbie. I mean, even though I knew a lot, I certainly didn't know everything. And I have learned so much in the last 3 years, both from continuing to do research and also from now being a full-time author. And over the last 3 years, attending events and signings and just actually working with publishing. My husband and I started our own publishing company before I began putting out books. It's called On My Way Up, LLC. And we figured that was the best, basically the best way that we could put out my books and know that we had control. There are pluses to that, of course. We have total control over all of my works, over the cover design, over whatever is done with the books. Total control. But that also puts the onus on us. We have to design the covers of the books, pay for photography, do the cover design, whatever we're going to do. Also, my husband formats all of my books, which is wonderful, but I'm sure very boring work. He formats those. Editors have to be involved, beta readers, proofreaders, all of that stuff. So it all goes on the author when you indie publish. It's up to you, of course, if you choose not to have an editor or not to have beta readers and just put your stuff out there. That's your choice. I prefer to have some outside opinion and quality control in my work. We can all improve. Everybody can improve, whether you're the biggest writer in the world or somebody just starting out. My writing continues to evolve and grow just as I do over the years. That's just from personal experience, but it's also from professional experience and also learning from other professionals. And that's the wonderful thing about being indie, is everybody is very supportive. The difficulty is that there are so many of us out there, so many people between traditional and indie, or as they say, legacy publishing is the actual term, legacy and indie. There are like 250,000 people every year publishing books. Okay, hello, how do you stand out in that crowd? Very tough, and it's constantly trying to figure out how can you market and promote better than the next person to get your book noticed. It's a continual struggle. It's all trial and error. I mean, unless you have really great luck, connections, or money, it's tough, and that's the nature of the business. And if you can't handle it, then you should be doing something else, because it's not for wimps. So that is my brief explanation of how I became an indie author. Thank you. Happy reading.